Bum, bum.
If you are enjoying Theatrephonic, we would really appreciate your support. By donating to our Patreon, you can help us produce more frequent episodes as well as more additional content. And by signing up to our Patreon, you will gain instant access to ad-free episodes, blooper reels, and Q&A sessions, as well as the opportunity to watch live recordings and name a character in a play. Visit patreon.com/Theatrephonic for more information. That's patreon.com/Theatrephonic to get more of what you love.
Bum, bum.
Theatrephonic presents The Meeting.
Good afternoon.
Greg, difficult journey?
No? Why?
You're over an hour late.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I got caught up.
Well, that's not going to help your case.
I know. I just couldn't help it. My stepdad decided we had to have a heart-to-heart about my future. And then there was an accident on the motorway, and so I was just...
shall we get to it? Have a seat.
I mean, we don't have to start immediately. Couldn't we talk a bit first?
Really? What for?
I don't know. Just feel like there's a lot that's gone unsaid between us.
Well, if you ever decide to open up a little, we'll have a lot more to say to each other.
Oh, come on. You know it takes me a long time to trust people. I told you that when we first met.
Surely we know each other well enough by now.
How have you been keeping?
Good. Working mainly.
You work too much. You should take a break. Unwind a little.
I enjoy my job.
Of course you do, but doesn't mean you don't need a break. You should come down the pub with me sometime.
Really? You're going to flirt with me? Now?
I'm just trying to keep this friendly. There's enough tension in the air as it is. Go on then, ask your questions.
Good. So, let's talk about Sandra.
Obviously. I offer to let my guard down and immediately you start with that.
What else is there to talk about? She's the reason we're in this position.
Some bitch from London who means nothing.
She doesn't mean nothing. And what you did with her doesn't mean nothing.
Oh, I've told you time and time again. I didn't do anything with her. I was at Fred's that night.
Fred says otherwise.
And he's lying, isn't he? He wants to get me back for a fling I had with his girlfriend years ago.
Oh, so you've cheated before?
Don't twist my words. You're just like my ex.
You told me 6 months ago that you didn't even know Sandra, but that turned out to be a lie. I'd appreciate some honesty before it's too late.
Oh, come on. And we both know it's too late. You've made your mind up. There's nothing I can say to save the situation. I'm screwed whatever.
You could help yourself by telling me what happened. Give me some peace of mind.
A peace of mind? Wait, so you want me to lie to you so you can feel justified in how you've treated me for God knows how long?
No, I want the truth. I know enough to be sure that you've been keeping a lot from me. I'd rather hear it from you than your mates. How did you meet Sandra?
At the pub.
Okay.
I was there with Fred and some other lads watching the match. She was playing pool with this other bloke. Her brother, she told me.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed her early on in the evening. I mean, everyone had. She was gorgeous. But I happened to start chatting to her at the bar. The match was over and I bet on the final score, so I was in the money and feeling like a celebration. She just appeared next to me, turned to me and smiled. God, it was a great match. Oh, we were really on form. That hat-trick was spectacular. So the room was buzzing. We came up with this chant, right? So
you bought her a drink?
Well, yeah. I bought her several. She seemed happy to talk and flirt with me, as long as the booze kept coming.
And what happened then when the drink stopped flowing?
It didn't really. Not until the barman called last orders. We were both pretty steaming by that point. She asked if I wanted to continue the night, and at first I said yes.
At first?
She was beautiful and interested in me. I was so drunk I thought I'd be an idiot if I said no.
you're going to blame the alcohol then? You would have said yes even if you were sober.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. What happened then?
When we got outside the bar, her brother turned up again and said she needed to go home with him. And she did. And I went back with Fred.
And you really expect me to believe that?
I wasn't going to argue with her brother. I mean, I can hold myself in a fight, but he was massive. And he had mates. Anyway, I was starting to have second thoughts about it, so figured it wasn't the end of the world.
What about your friends? Were they still there?
Everyone but Fred had gone home. Families to get back to and all.
And what about your family?
Oh, come on. It was the first night I'd had out in ages. I'd been working really hard for the last year and needed to get away. I didn't want the night to end.
So you decided to carry on the party by having sex with women you just met?
I didn't. I swear I didn't shag her. She left with her brother and I went to Fred's.
So why would Fred say that you didn't?
I told you. He's just lying to get revenge on me sleeping with his
You really think your best mate would lie about something like this just to get you back?
Well, he's a petty arsehole.
I spoke to the manager at the pub you were at.
All right, Miss Marple. You do nothing but pry, do you?
And what do you expect me to do?
I don't know. You could try believing me.
We're past the point of me being able to believe you. The bar manager told me a very different story, and he has the benefit of being completely sober. He said that Sandra's brother, was it, had left hours before closing. Apparently, the bouncer saw you leaving with her in the car. They tried to stop you as you were clearly over the limit, but you swore at them before speeding away. Did you go straight to the motel?
Now, why would I go to a motel with another woman when I have a gorgeous wife and kids at home?
Well, clearly you gave no thought about home.
I told you, she went home with her brother, and
Then why is there a card transaction on your account for a local motel that night?
Well, I must have gone there then. I don't remember.
I thought you said you went to Fred's.
Oh, for God's sake, I was wasted. Right, I was at Fred's the next morning, so I assumed I'd gone back with him. I completely forgot Sandra existed by that point. That's why I said I didn't know her when you first asked. I wiped her from my mind.
Well, a few minutes ago, you seemed to have a very clear memory of the exact events.
You spent a long time badgering me about it. I've had a lot of time to reflect, and some aspects have come back.
You mean that you had time to invent your story?
Look, if you don't believe me, why are we still here?
Because I want the truth from you. I'm tired of being lied to, and I'm sure the truth will make you feel better too. Wouldn't it take a weight off your shoulders?
Saying anything more is only going to result in a whole load of other trouble for me, though. Now, you're just going to twist it to suit yourself. Look, I know I've lost your respect, and I know I'll never get it back. I don't see the point anymore, so I might as well just go.
What happened when you got back to the motel, Greg?
I told you.
What happened?
Look, we had sex. There, are you happy?
And what happened then?
She got a call from her boyfriend and freaked out. He had that location sharing thing with her on her phone, and he was on his way to find her. She told me I had to get out. She was going to pretend that she'd stayed there to avoid waking him up or something.
And what did you do?
I got out, obviously. I didn't want to have to deal with an angry boyfriend. I drove to Fred's, but obviously he was in bed by then, so I slept in my car.
And that was it?
And that was it.
She didn't say anything else?
No.
She didn't ask you for anything?
No. Just to get out as quick as possible.
She didn't ask you for any money?
For what? I'd already paid for the room.
For her services?
No! She wasn't a hooker.
Yes, she was.
Wait, she was a hooker?
A sex worker? Yes. So it's a bit surprising that she didn't ask for payment.
And what makes you think that?
You forced me into a position where I had to do a lot of hunting around for information. Sandra, being a sex worker, was one of the first things I learned.
You're lying.
Why would I lie?
You're trying to trick me into saying something you can use against me. I would never use a prostitute.
You seem extremely angry at the mere suggestion of having used a sex worker. Is that a shameful thought?
I can get it without paying for it.
Ah, so you go out looking for sex with other women regularly then?
Stop twisting my words.
So what would you do if you found out someone you slept with was a sex worker?
Well,
You'd be furious, wouldn't you? What an insult to your masculinity, having to pay to get your leg over.
shut up.
I know what you're like when you get angry, Greg.
I would never hit a woman, if that's what you mean.
You have before.
That was completely different.
Who are you trying to kid? We both know that you and alcohol make a very violent combination.
So? It makes no difference, does it? She didn't ask me for money. She just begged me to leave her so her boyfriend didn't catch her.
Sandra had no boyfriend, Greg. No brother either.
Really?
But there is her pimp. He was the one she was playing pool with.
And how the hell do you know that?
The bar manager. Very nice guy. So you went back to the motel and had sex with her. And when you were done, she asked for payment. What did you do?
I didn't know that she was a prostitute, okay? I would never have shagged her if I did. I must have just been too drunk to realise.
So it would have come as quite a shock when she wanted £300 from you. It's understandable, really. You feel duped. She conned you into having sex with her.
Yeah.
And you were still very drunk, I assume.
Well, yeah.
So you can't be blamed for how you reacted.
No.
And how did you react, Greg?
I was so angry. I thought she actually wanted to sleep with me. Turns out it was for the money.
And?
Nothing. I ran out before she could stop me.
Greg, I know exactly what happened and I can prove it. But I want to hear it from you. What did you do?
I tried to storm out, but she blocked me, yelling about her money. She kept hanging on to me, trying to pull me back. I lost it. I was just trying to get past her and so hit her, and she fell. She hit her head on the door handle as she went down. It was pretty clear that she was dead.
What did you do?
Well, I panicked, didn't I? I've been cheating on my wife with a whore and accidentally killed her.
So what did you do?
There was a wood behind the motel. I took her and put her in a ditch. And then covered her with leaves.
Thank you for your honesty. Greg Fletcher, I'm arresting you for the manslaughter of Sandra Macy. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on. Anything.
You have been listening to The Meeting, written and directed by Emmeline Braefield, with Luke Rhodri as Greg and Jasmine Raymond as Eloise, produced by Cat on a Piano Productions. For a full list of the music included in the play, please see our show notes. The Theatrephonic theme tune was composed by Jackson Pentland, performed by Jackson Pentland, Mollie Fyfe-Taylor, and Emmeline Braefield. For more information about the Theatrephonic podcast, go to catonapiano.uk/Theatrephonic. Tweet or Instagram us at Theatrephonic, or visit our Facebook page. If you enjoy Theatrephonic and would like to get more content, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/Theatrephonic. Please don't forget to rate and review. Thank you for listening.